Yeah, of course. Okay, so this is very much a work in progress. So this is a ongoing project that Kelsey and I have been working on. We're working on creating her own portfolio Squarespace page. But if you are looking to starting into Squarespace, which I don't disregard, in fact, I do support in any kind of way, Squarespace is quite user friendly, and given the learning curve, you can easily find yourself putting up a website in days. So we decided to use one of the templates, um, York, something that will easily. It's almost similar to the Spark, um, Adobe Spark that we just went over, but it's much different in that you have your traditional menu bars up here, you have your home site title here. Very much this is the landing page where you can easily go to different pages to display your work. So if I click here on pages, you'll see that the main page is outlined here in work. You can take a look at the different sub pages that it goes off to. Um, Very much the same way as buttons work in Adobe Spark, your home page will redirect people to your different sub pages where you'll have outlined your work in depth. So if we click here on one of the templates here, you can say display a story about investigative journalism. You're going to have the headline here, a description of what you did, and then you're going to highlight things in, say, a gallery, whether with images or video that is intermixed with different um, pull quotes. You have the option here of adding hyperlinks. So say if you were to go look on this left-hand side of the page here, you are free to add images, video. You can add, I believe you can adjust as you need. Say the different images, so it does include an image editor if you don't pre-process your images before putting it onto the website. Highly recommended you do, though.
And where do you recommend they process the images first? Just in a regular.
So, if you're taking it straight from your phone comes with a nice suite of image editors.
Okay.
Built into the camera app that work before taking the photo. What I like to use on my phone, if you see, go over to my camera apps. If you don't use, say, like Instagram or Facebook photo editor, you can easily download something called Snapseed, which is basically a free Photoshop complete editor for your photos, or Adobe comes with Photoshop Express. Whatever you use to edit your photos before bringing it onto your computer will be completely enough.
Okay.
So we go back to edit. You're going to have a bunch of additional settings to go through. When on each page, you have the option to change your page title, your navigation title, your URL slug, which shows up in your hotbar up here. You have the option to change like password or show if the page will show or not. You have SEO settings. Remember those search engine optimization settings, something that will help you fine tune what people want to look for, or you can also have the hidden from search results. Squarespace offers so much additional features. So say you can definitely change how it will show on socials, change your media, thumbnails, and very much like advanced options like categories, tags, and very much adding code to your page header. So if we're gonna go off of the template and show you what you will definitely look like editing your own page from scratch, we'll go to template A here. So what I have set up is a headline where you can say display, you could say do a photo gallery. You're going to have a description down here, so you can add that by, this is sort of what you're going to see. So instead of dragging and dropping, as Adobe Spark does with its little plus buttons at the bottom of your set page, going into a new page, you're going to have a flat page where you add boxes. So what I have here is a controlled box area that includes, say, my headline or the subheadline to the headline, the description. There are options to add spacers here, and the way that you can all do that is via this plus button to the right, where you can. Oh yeah, of course, all of your functions that you saw in Adobe Spark, but expanded up to 10. You're going to want to be mainly dealing with text, images, quotes, videos, spacers to add spaces between bodies of work. You have lines. Buttons work in the same way as links do. You have the option to add like audio bits. So say if you're embedding like say a music track or a visual quote, or you can embed pages here. Going into anything more advanced like image layouts, galleries, summaries, they come with options as mixing up your options for displaying photos. So right down here, I chose to do a grid. It's a 1x3. You can do a slideshow with a main image and a bunch of other images rotating around. Carousel works in very much the same way, as it just displays one image and switches between how many images you have in there, or you can stack it up. Same as a glide show. You can choose it scrolling downwards, like so. So you have a lot to work with creating a page here. This is what you're going to be working with. There will definitely be many boxes to each page as you work and develop more. If we're going to go into creating a new page, before this step, you have already a selection of options. So your about page, which is your bio and professional photo. You have a contact page where you can have the additional feature of editing forms. Where you go on a contact pages on other websites where you have, say, leave your email, your phone number, and a message. Details if you want to include descriptions of where you've been. So say if you say worked from place A from January to March, and then you moved on to place B, that would be where you include further details. Features, same as highlights for works, but in a sub-page layout. And then you have images for your slideshows. And then team and booking are pertaining more to the if you're working with multiple people. So you want to include like other people that are working here with you, or booking as in making reservations. The Squarespace offers plenty to work with. You can create your own portfolio, or if you're going to look to brand yourself and sell content, you can also do it through Squarespace. You have your own pages for galleries. You have your own pages for products. If you're going to make a blog here, it's easily like you got an easy set template for a blog. You can see it's clearly empty as of right now, but same way as, say, like Tumblr or Twitter, you enter a post title and type out what you want, save, and it will show up as a box, complete with dates, social media shares, likes and dislikes. Kelsey,
This is great. No, this is great. I love it. So I have a question about, if you go to the About page, so if you want to give maybe the students, so we loaded the About page down here on secondary navigation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. So how do we break, so say I have a lot of content on that page. How do we break that content up? So that's a combo of a headshot also with a resume. So if we want to put that on as well as kind of like a bio page. So obviously that shouldn't be all on one page. And if we do have it all on one page, we should probably make sure that we break it up a little bit, or that's like kind of like the first landing page, So how would you do that? How do you make like your home page?
So what you're going to want to do, obviously you're going to start from scratch, an About page.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then
What you've chosen to do is, say, do a banner where your photo is shown first, followed by all the descriptions. You
right.
can easily change it so it's side by side. So say
Cool.
we're going to make a new about page, about me.
Oh, I gotcha. And then I would just cut and copy.
Yes. So your photo would be here next to your bio. So about, you're going to go back. So you're going to change it to whatever title you want to show up there. Show by your picture. All of this on your right here, which is your bio, is going to go right there. And easily enough, you can go back to your about page. You see, you'll have, like, say, descriptions. You'd be basic. You proper etiquette. You'd put it all into a different page.
Yeah,
definitely. Like places I've worked at or resume.
Exactly. Yeah, list it out so it's not all bulky. And then, is there a way to view it on? So this secondary navigation, what does that mean?
So the main navigation pertains to what they see on your main page. So say your landing page, it's all going to have displays and links that will go off to sub pages that are under that. Okay. Secondary navigation comes from all of your top menu links. So say about me, your work, press, like selected accolades. Press can also pertain to what would be a good example of press in our case, Kelsey?
Well, we could do, press ideally on a professional website would be any stories about you or stories that you've written. So it's basically the media's response to something that includes you.
There you go.
Whether you have a byline or you've had an article published about what you've done.
Basically, press would almost be akin to, like, say, reviews of yourself.
Yep.
Any notable, like, say, someone mentioned you in their work and you wanted to proudly display it on your website? Yeah. Right. Basically like a call out.
Yep.
You also have about and contact. So like we said, we already went through the about. Basically, Kelsey at the moment has a bio mixed with a resume in here, but we want to optimally split it up between, say, a resume and a bio page. And then you have the option to have people contact you. So say, hello, let's work together. Social medias, here's that form template we worked out with email address, subject, and message, which Squarespace offers a perfectly good, a perfectly able form editing system where you can set out, like, what kind of forms you want to have, email address, subject, message. It can be sent to whatever you want to connect it to, MailChimp, Zapier, or Google Drive. I haven't explored the first two, but Google Drives are reliable. And advanced stages like submit buttons, button alignment. You can choose to have them redirect to, like, a thank you page maybe, and then like a post submit message.
Nice. Okay.
As you can definitely see, Squarespace offers so much more versatility than Adobe Spark, but it also requires just as much work as it looks to be. So so a lot of layout will have to go out into thinking what content you have ready on hand to put on your main work page. Kelsey's provided many examples where journalists have a lot less than this, but have made it work. So if Kelsey will definitely reiterate and include those examples in the lecture to come. I think I've gone over just about everything I can think of for Squarespace.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's very much a work in progress between Kelsey and I, and we're not experts on the matter. So, we're very much in the same boat as you are about to be going into this final project. Very much recommend going with Adobe Spark because it is free. Squarespace is not. Squarespace, Wix, and Google Domains, you have to buy your own domain name and set up your own website, which requires hosting fees and yada, 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 monthlies, yearlies. Very much something that, say, if you're in the place of a student like I am, wouldn't exactly have the funds to dedicate to at the time. So Adobe Spark's a good place to start.
Yep, I agree. But now they have options, so so students, you guys can choose what you want to do. I imagine most of you guys will do Adobe Spark, as Jail's given such a wonderful run through of it. And if you want to start up Squarespace, you can kind of join in on our adventure with it, and definitely ask any questions that you have.